Welcome back to Patrice J. Sews. Today's video will be a sew with me, and we're making a baby shower ensemble. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. In my hand, I'm holding a facing that I created prior to cutting out the fabric. And basically to create a facing for any type of neckline, you just trace the neckline from the pattern and extend it down maybe 2.5 inches and cut it out that way. Use your sloper ruler your French curve ruler to give you smooth curves. And otherwise, I've put my pattern pieces down and they are held into place with pattern weights that I purchased from Home Depot. They're actually washers, like the large washers that people use for construction projects and whatnot, and they're really inexpensive. Like, you can get a box of them for less than 10 or 15 bucks. So I am cutting out the facings as well as the pattern pieces, and I'm just using a rotary cutter that I purchased from Joann's. The fabric is a black knit that came from Joann's as well, and this is a dress that I'm making for a baby shower. This will be a baby shower ensemble. I try to keep a tidy workspace as I am working, just to keep the clutter down. So that little magnetic dish I ordered off of Amazon, it came in a set of 4, and it's a mechanics nut tin or something like that. Just look for like magnetic dish for nuts and bolts, because that's what it was for. And I paid probably less than $20 on Amazon, and I got 4 of them. Here I am making a waistband for the skirt that's going to go with this dress, and basically I just made cut out a rectangle that was 6 inches wide. I'm sorry, I meant to say 6 inches tall, and then it'll be folded over in half. That should give me something like a 2.5 3-inch waistband. Here I'm just laying out my pattern pieces to make sure that I have everything cut, and then I'm also snipping my notches so that I can match up the front to the back and the shoulder to the sleeve properly. So here I am going to just lay out the front to the back and try to pin them at the shoulders so that I can take them down to the sewing machine and attach them. Here I am sewing across the shoulder seam, and when I'm done I'll take it to the ironing board to press the seam out. I'm going to attach the sleeves for this dress in the flat method way. So basically you just lay out your front and back so that everything is smooth, and then you take your sleeve, match them at the notches that you cut on both the sleeve and the dress, and then pin along, you periodically pin so that everything is lined up and matched up properly. And then you take it to your sewing machine and you just sew it along that edge. And I just used the 5/8 inch seam allowance for all of this. So on this day, I discovered that Harry Potter, HBO was streaming all 8 movies for the Harry Potter series. And so that's what's playing on my cell phone. And I literally took that thing from the sewing machine to the serger to the cutting board, all over my sewing room. I've never seen any of the Harry Potter movies until this day. So I'm back at my sewing machine and I am just sewing the sleeve to the dress. And basically you just follow the shoulder curve. And you stick to a 5/8 inch seam allowance unless your pattern tells you something differently. And you should get it in a smooth, clean fit every single time. And just make sure that you press it out real good at the sewing machine. But if you notice, you see Harry Potter is playing. I think I watched the first movie and the second movie on this day. And then I think currently today is January the 4th that I'm doing the editing for this video. And I only have two movies left. I almost wish that I was watching while it was actively playing, but it's never too late to catch up on a good series. So I just serged the seams on my sleeves just to give them a clean finish. When you're using a knit fabric, you totally can skip this step, but it's just something I like to do, especially on the seams. And then the rest of the dress will just be pressed out because the knit fabric won't fray or anything like that. And so now I have matched the seams at the underarm, and I am just pinning along the rest of the side seam. So down the arm of the sleeve, past the armpit, and straight down the side of that dress. Once you have it pinned so that the fabric doesn't shift on you, you just put it back on the sewing machine and sew a 5/8 inch seam allowance all the way down. It's going to be one of your longest seams. And then you'll just do the same thing for the other side. I am tripping over me and this Harry Potter. I was totally hooked. So there are many ways to make a tulle skirt. There's tutorials all over for tutu skirts and tulle skirts. Simplicity has patterns for tulle skirts. For my purposes, I found that I get the best results when I hand gather and just kind of go for the feel and the fullness that I visually see. So the first thing I do is kind of loosely drape the tulle and gather as I go, just to kind of get the circumference that I need. So once I've done that, so here I am just kind of pinning and hand gathering, and then once I have loose gathers all the way around the dress, I'll cut off the excess that I have because I was pinning from the boat. Once I cut this off, I'm gonna go back around the skirt in the reverse, and I'm basically taking the pins out of the dress form and just pinning through just the layers of the tulle so that the pleats that I put in don't shift when I sew. I hope that makes sense. But I'm basically pulling the pin out of the dress form and then repinning the tulle so that it doesn't, so it keeps the pleats that I hand created. And I just do this until I have unpinned the entire circumference of the tool skirt. Once I've done that, I check the circumference of the waist of the skirt that I need to my client's measurements, because this is not for me. And I just make sure that I have her waist measurements plus ½ inch, so that I can, because I'm going to sew it all together and make it just one skirt, and then the waistband will be elastic, which will allow her to get it over her hips. And then now I did not take the pins out of here, because if I had taken the pins out, I would have lost the pleats that I had created. So I'm just sewing right along the top edge of this tool, just to give myself a base to start working with. And I want to say we purchased like something like 25 yards of tulle, and I used every last inch of it. So with the rest of the tulle on the boat, I just, instead of pinning it to my dress form, what I am doing is just hand gathering. So I basically do like 3 or 4 pleats, sew it down, straighten it out, do 3 or 4 more pleats, sew it down, straighten it out, and I just rinse and repeat that until I have gathered the remainder of the boat. And then once I've gathered the remainder of the boat, I match it up to the skirt, cut what I don't need off, and then place it periodically. So I end up using it all, but the way that I do it is just that I can get the most fullness where I need it. This is what I was referring to. So I take the gather tool that I just did on my sewing machine, and I pin it to that first layer of tulle that I had that I initially done. And so like I already know what the length will be, so I just need to match the tools, cut the until they are the same length as far as the circumference goes, the waistline. Cut off the excess, and then I think I was left with maybe enough to do in the back. And so I just placed the other one around just to add that additional fullness. And then I'm just double checking to make sure that I have the correct measurements for her waist. I did that so many times. Right here you see my head hit the table. That's because I was sick with some sort of weird stomach virus bug. I think my husband and I must have picked up a bug on the airplane coming back from LA. Just terrible. It went through the whole house. So I have the skirt finished and I have the dress finished. I just didn't capture the sewing it up the back seam. But I was trying to pull the skirt over the top, and then I realized that my client is like a size 8, 10, even while she's pregnant, and my dress form is a size 18, so that skirt was not going to happen. It was not going to work. And you see I padded out for her bump. The only reason that the dress works on a dress form is because it's a knit fabric, so it just stretches over, and I knew as long as I had a tight fit on the dress form with the dress, that would fit her perfectly. So what I did instead was just pin the skirt to the front of the dress just to see overall effect, because I'm waiting on her to come in for fitting, so I can adjust the neckline, adjust the length of the dress for her, hem her sleeves, but she won't be coming until the weekend. We discussed that she wants a boat neck, which is why I'm waiting for her to try the dress on so that I can finish her neckline, because she's going to wear like a big statement, some statement jewels, And so I happen to have some in the basement, so I just put mine on for effect. So whenever she gets over here, she should be able to see this. But I think it's going to be really, really cute, and I can't wait to see her in it with her bump. Thanks for sewing with me. Please like, comment, and subscribe for more videos. Thanks. Bye.